Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Gardner, best-selling author of Taming Wall Street. I have a good friend, Ray Ross, who is the founder and host of the Financial Literacy 101 channel. Ray, hey, thanks for being on this interview today.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. Once again, it's been a pleasure for us to team up and do some financial videos together.
So right away, I just want to ask some questions. I put it out to my community, and this is what they want to hear from your perspective is, what do you think the economy reopening, what do you think the recovery for the individual American is going to look like as the economy reopens?
Well, definitely that proposes a lot of pros and cons. The pros will be that Americans love to work. They love to work for their money, majority of them. And them getting back out there will be one of the pros of this, them actually working for their money and getting back to a normal routine. Now, one of the cons of that is the safety portion of that, social distancing, wearing masks, some of the low scale restaurants that have to implement all of these measures so they can start having customers, so those workers can start getting paid. Also, another con would be being furloughed or being underemployed and hours being reduced, which can actually hurt some people's bottom line. But at the same token, it is better than sitting at home and not making any money, because we understand here, if I believe, I was reading some information on house.gov that the incentive of the extra $600 for when you file for unemployment, that's going to end, I believe, July 31st, if I'm not mistaken, either June or July 31st. Now, some Republicans actually proposed a plan where they're actually, I call it go back to work plan. They're proposing they're going to give people an additional $450 a week, or no, excuse me, $450 a month just to go back to work. But I won't really get into my perspective about that, because some things may be somewhat sinister, only because we understand in order for America to make money, we all have to get back to work.
Yeah. And no, you had it right the first time. It is the $450 a week.
Okay.
And I think what they're thinking is, we give people $600 to be at home. If we give them $450, we get an employee out of it, and we save $150 per week on tens of millions of people. So yeah, it is a little bit controversial, like you said.
It is. It's like stay at home $600, but that's going to end. Go back to work $450 a week. But how long is that actually going to stay in play?
Yeah, and I think the Senate this week will have to debate that. What are your thoughts on? Do you think that there's going to actually be a second round of stimulus for the American people?
Stephen, that's a very good question, because I really don't know. Now, when we looked at some of the first stimulus package that was inside of the CARES Act, now, again, you've had the HEROES Act that was proposed by Nancy Pelosi, and it passed the House, but we're still waiting for the Senate to vote on it. Now, a lot of Republicans in the Senate said it's DOA, it's dead on arrival. And Mitch McConnell actually said some things I would not fail to mention because they were very negative. And also President Trump, he also said that, hey, if it somehow passes the Senate, I'm going to veto the bill. So it kind of tells me if it's Democratic led, it may not be passed. But there are Republicans who are proposing a similar package, and it's under the Eagles plan, right? It's under the Eagles plan. So they're looking towards that one because, again, right now we understand that the Republicans run the Senate, and so they have the majority of the votes. Do I know it's going to be a second stimulus? I hope for the American people's sake, because we're still going through a tumultuous time. We're still going through a recession based upon this pandemic. So I will hope that either plan gets passed, because at the end of the day, people need food. People need essential items to go about their daily lives.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's say that the economy reopens right now. People can get back to work. How do you think people are going to behave differently with their money going forward?
I would like to believe that people will be will become great stewards of their money. I know on my channel, Financial Literacy 101, I tell people, not that you've already been through this time and you have not had an emergency fund. This should be a great indicator that you should have an emergency fund for times like this, times you can't even think of, times that you can't even fathom. This is why you have an emergency fund, and this is why you should not be greatly in debt, because you're going to owe all these people and you're not going to have any income coming in. And the little savings account you may have, maybe $1,000, $2,000, is going to go to keep the lights on and keep food in the refrigerator.
Yeah, as I've talked with people, they're like, there's no way I can set aside 6 months. Well, what if you just made the goal to set aside one extra rent payment or one extra mortgage payment? You're going to be light years ahead of a lot of people. So
Exactly.
just even that one little step.
Little by little. And I'll just say this: we have to educate the people in our lives, whether it be our viewers, our family and friends, that your financial freedom journey is not a trip, it's a journey.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Let me ask you this. As you work, because I know you do some consulting, some private consulting with people on your channel. They pay you to,
I do.
which is awesome. I do the same thing with my channel. As you've worked with those people, have you seen any kind of pattern or common financial issue or habit that people need to implement as you've done your strategy sessions with them?
Once they start getting into learning about debt and paying down their debt, they now want to broaden their horizons in the financial world of investing. All right. Because once they get their debt at a manageable amount, meaning like your regular card debt or maybe credit card debt where you're still paying it off every month, but as soon as you use, you're in debt again. But they understand how to use their credit cards responsibly. Because, I want to thank you, Stephen, when you gave me that tip about the Gap card. Remember that?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So me and my girlfriend, we went to the Gap store and we spent $200 and zero came out of our pockets. I have my Gap card set up for all of my accounts. So I just had to point that out to the viewers.
I just got another $50 reward. It just came in the mail.
Can you mail that to me? But anyway, once they saw learning about debt and getting out of debt and decreasing their debt, two things pop up almost instantaneously after they get that information. One, how do I get into investing? How do I invest? Where should I invest? Then secondly, what should I know about my credit score? How to raise my credit score? How to remove things off my credit? Because, I have series about that too, and information about how to raise and get rid of your debt collections accounts. Because what I'm learning is a lot of people, they know about credit score, they know a little bit about credit, but they don't know how to eradicate or extract collections accounts from their credit report, even after 7 years.
Okay.
Because you have the FCRA, that's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The two sectors are 609 and 611 that has to do with inquiries and also accounts that can actually help you to remove them. Here's the gray area. Whether you was at fault and that was your account or not, you can still dispute it. You can still wipe it away, take it away from your credit report, and actually raise your score tremendously.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling for your community? Are they more like they've been affected and laid off and they'll have to figure out how to get going again? Or is your community more like, hey, we were able to keep our jobs, but we need direction on how to be smarter with our money? Which way does your community lean?
It's totally a mix.
Okay.
So three sectors. Some people have totally kept their jobs. Some have been reduced in hours, and some totally lost their jobs, and their jobs won't be coming back because the business is not coming back.
Yeah.
So my three different messages to those three sectors of my community is the people who kept their jobs and the people who have been reduced. I tell them, work on your debt, work on your savings, your emergency savings, and then we can start talking about investing. We can start talking about profitability, market, trying to really make some money. But once you lower your debt, especially your debt to income ratio, for those who have totally lost their jobs, I give them tips and ideas on how to create businesses or get inside of businesses that are still in business in order to make some money. Now, some of my ideas may not be the most luxurious or the most attractive, because I even gave a tip. I said, you know what? There's a couple of jobs that people just don't want to do, but there's money in it. Yeah. And one of them, I told them, I said, I remember growing up in Washington, D.C., where I used to see people roll around with shopping carts collecting cans and bottles. And I talked to one of the gentlemen, and he had 2 shopping carts of cans and bottles and tops. And I say, well, how much you think that's going to, how much you think you're going to return on that? He told me should be somewhere between $15,000 and $2,000. And I was like, picking up bottles and cans and tops? He said, wow. Yeah, this is 5 cents, this is 10 cents, and I have over this many. And I was just like, wow. Now, it's hard work, but when people tell me, I'm unemployed, I'm underemployment, I don't have any income coming in, I thought of the most basic thing that I know most people may not want to do, but they do it. And then I also look at people that just wait at certain department stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. If you have some sort of carpentry skills, if you can paint, if you can cut wood, people just wait around waiting for work. So these are different things that people may not think of because they're not really high dollar or they're not, really that attractive. But if you need money, then you will do what you need to do in order to receive it legally.
Yeah. There's, I'll throw something out and then I want to get your take on it.
Sure.
I feel like YouTube or the media or all these like flashy, maybe millionaire, maybe fake millionaire types are like, follow your passion and all this money will just come to you. And I've learned, now, through almost 4 decades of being alive, for me anyway, you follow opportunity and bring your passion with it. Speak to that for a minute.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off you said, just a small caveat. They're fakes, they're phonies, they're fraudulents, and they're scammers, okay? Because they get the attraction of people online through video marketing to show them their wealth, okay? But they don't show me your bank account. That's kind of my take on it. Show me your bank account, then show me how you're going to help me with your bank account versus your cars, your houses, and the $10,000 that you supposedly had on the table. Because I always show fake money on my channel because my real money is in the bank where it should be. Okay,
it's not on the desk.
Gaining interest. And so they have all of these free platforms that they tell you it's free until you actually get into them, and they're selling you packages where it's just another way to make money. Now, granted, not all of these are fraudulent scammers and all of that. They're just trying to introduce you into another sector and give you information, but they want to get paid for the services. That I understand. Yeah. You have to be very cognizant. You have to be very aware of the numerous amounts of scams out there and the different ways and different entities that they actually reach people to scam them out of their money. And here's the thing. During a time like this is when you see the ugly in the people of the world and how scams ramp up 10 times the amount than any other time when we're not in such a recession.
Yeah, I mean, you told me this, and I'm so grateful. But I actually had somebody come to me. I pushed them to your channel, and you saved that woman from being scammed $3,500. And so, I mean, there's money makers, and then there's fakers, and you got to just be really careful who you're choosing as your money mentor.
Definitely.
One last question. Let's wrap this up.
Sure.
We've been going about 15 minutes now. What do you think is the best investment that people could make over the next 12 months?
Well, I kind of want to piggyback again off what you said. Your best investment is yourself, but as well, if you're not investing in yourself, and I've had plenty of videos on my channel dealing with certain books you should read, websites, how to research stuff, because the one thing that people request on my channel, and they say, hey, Ross, where do I invest my money? And I simply tell them, I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is the stocks and portfolios and organizations and companies that I invest in, and why do I invest in them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, a great book is The Intelligent Investor, or Think and Grow Rich, or any of the Rich and Poor Dad series. So education for me is key, because I want to tackle the analytics and metrics and data and candlesticks and all those things that people may not understand, the RSIs, the relative strength index, or even the Greek info when you have the theta, the rho of how stocks are performing in their projection, whether it be from the first year or the entire history of the stock. All of those things I look at to make a guess, to make an educated guess or educated prediction, because there's no guarantee once you put your money to the stock market that you're actually going to make money. But speaking about that, today I made $140 doing what? Absolutely nothing, because I did my research and I invested my money correctly. But tomorrow I can lose it all. That is the power. That is the power, okay? And the scary part about the stock market. But I'm here to educate and inform people and encourage them. This is the one way that can make you some real money real quick, but it does come with risk.
Okay, great. Hey, I appreciate you being on. If someone wanted to reach you, what's the best way to find you or learn more?
Oh, yeah. So my channel is Financial Literacy 101, or you can search for Ross World. Either one will pop up my channel on Google or within YouTube. And also in my description of all my videos, I have my email address, which is blocklogic28@protonmail.com. And you can ask me any sort of questions. You can request materials to help your credit, and I'll be there to help anyone. Again, that's Financial Literacy 101 or Ross World.
All right. Well, this is Stephen Gardner interviewing Ray Ross from Financial Literacy 101. Thank you so much, Ray, for being on, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.